If you could go back to the 80s and ask 11-year-old me to describe the perfect movie, I would describe this movie. It has ninjas with magical throwing stars that can deflect bullets, it's got hot women who mud wrestle and end up in the shower, and it even has a few dead cops. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at The Lost Empire from 1984. This is the directorial debut of Jim Wynorski. You might know him from his VHS classics like Chopping Mall or Deathstalker 2, or from his more serious later works like Attack of the 50-Foot Cam Girl or The Hills Have Thighs. Let's see how we got started. We open on, well, this is a Jim Wynorski film, so you can probably guess what we're going to open on. Did you guess correctly? Is your inner 11-year-old happy? Good. Anyway, this lady is looking at jewelry, she's happy with the necklace, and the shop owner processes her payment. And then, ninjas. With throwing stars that twirl and block bullets. Now my inner 11-year-old is locked in. The ninjas get rid of the shop owner and start working on this statue, and then the cops show up. There's a fight and everyone gets killed, so no real winner here. Well, except for society.
I can't believe you, Rob.
I don't like cops.
In another movie, some terrorists are holding children hostages. But don't worry, the wolf is here. The wolf rides in slow motion and makes short work of these ne'er-do-wells. Oh, and what? The wolf is a woman. Ooh, a she-wolf. She goes home with an FBI agent, and the next morning she gets a call from the hospital. Her brother was injured. He was one of the cops who was fighting with those ninjas, so I guess he didn't die. At least not yet. He hands her a throwing star and tells her that the devil is real. And after looking at that throwing star, that FBI agent knows somehow who he's talking about. Some supernatural villain named Lee Chuck. He's immortal as long as he kills one person every day. He must be a Republican.
I think he's got a point.
To do a little investigating, Wolf goes to that place where her brother fought the ninjas, and the statue magics its eye into her bag. We learn from an old dude that this is the eye of Avatar, and Lee Chuck wants it. He already has one, and if he gets the other, he'll become a god. The Dragon God. Yeah, I think I fought that guy in Demon Souls. Lee Chuck is believed to be somehow involved with a cult leader who has bought an island and is raising a kind of army. He regularly holds competitions trying to find assassins to brainwash for his army, so Wolf plans to join the competition. But contestants must join in groups of 3 for some reason. Let's build a team. Her first step is to visit an Indian stereotype to find White Star. That is the lovely Raven Delacroix. We know her on this channel from Russ Meyer's Up. Our third teammate is currently being held in prison, and oh man, they should have made a spin-off movie about this prison. Look at those outfits. 2 prisoners are about to fight, and one of them has a much more interesting outfit under her also very interesting outfit. And here's a fun bit of trivia. That's Angelique Pettyjohn. She was in all kinds of stuff over the years. She was even in some of those 60s sexploitation films from that New York scene that I talk about all the time. In fact, she even played Michael Finlay's wife in The Touch of Her Flesh. Very, very cool. But she won't be our third warrior. That will be her opponent in this tussle, the lovely Angela Aames. We last saw her on this channel in the teen sex comedy Hots. The fight gets pretty dirty, and after it's all over, Angela has to take a shower. Naturally, and with a big emphasis on natural, you won't be able to see much of that here on YouTube.
Man, I just work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. You can now support the channel on Patreon for just $1 a month. Upgrade to $3 a month and get access to uncensored versions of my reviews. The link is in the description, and your support is very much appreciated. So our 3 warriors are accepted into the competition, and then they fly to that island. Once they make it to the facility, there's an intake process that includes various tests that require the ladies to be in various states of undress. Naturally. The next day, the training begins, which includes lots of jumping jacks and stretching and the deft handling of spears. Eventually, our warriors meet the leader of this place, who is played by Angus Scrimm. Horror fans will recognize him as the tall man from the Phantasm series. But what I think is most interesting about him is that somehow his name sounds exactly like his face. Angus Scrimm. How is that even possible? Now, I don't want to spoil too much about this. I'm sure you're all dying to know how it ends. But I will say that at the end of this film, we get to see this doomsday weapon. Oh man, that thing is like a marital aid upgrade for the Iron Giant. I'm Superman. So, will our ladies defeat the Dragon God and his penis death ray? Well, that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. Well, most of the highlights of this movie should be already apparent. We've got hot women mud wrestling, hot women taking showers, and hot women covered in snakes. It's pretty cool, if you're 12, or remember what it's like to enjoy things without taking them too seriously. Beyond the eye candy, this movie is just stupid, in the right kind of way. It's fun stupid, which works because the cast is obviously in on the joke.
Here we are, Havenhurst Correctional for Women. Gorgeous, huh?
I have my reservations.
And there's also plenty of dumb action. This thing is like a trashy take on a kung fu movie. In fact, I've even heard it described as Enter the Dragon via Russ Meyer, and that's pretty accurate. Plenty of sexy and strong women in this one, although if it had been a Russ Meyer film, we would have seen more of them. But beyond all the fun, stupid, and fun bags, this film isn't perfect. Like a shadowy figure caressing Raven Delacroix with his snake, this film has some shortcomings. Well, it's hard to complain too much about this one. I mean, it is what it is, and it knows exactly what it is. It's a campy piece of sexed-up trash poking a little fun at better movies in that Roger Corman kind of way. If you like that kind of stuff, and really, how couldn't you, you'll like this. You know who else might like it? Your kid, so tell him to invite some friends over for the coolest sleepover in the history of his elementary school.